Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Again, I would like to thank everybody who has purchased my Simple Multiplayer Steam template, and I do appreciate the support greatly. I really do. And if you have not purchased it, then a quick run through of what it actually is. The Simple Multiplayer Steam template is well, the name kind of says it all. It's a simple multiplayer Steam template. It's a method of creating a basic menu so that you can be able to, and I'm going to go ahead and play. An important note is when you're testing it and you want to make sure you've got Steam functionality correct, then you want to go ahead and play in standalone game. It will open up a new window and it'll look something like this. What you get is this basic menu system. You'll see that you'll have the Steam thing will pop up here, and you'll have your Steam username and avatar. You do not need to have a Steam app ID in order for this to work. And the way you can get around that is by packaging things in a development build for handing out copies for people to try your game. So with that, you can actually do all your testing and get people to play your project and test things out without actually having to have a Steam app ID for everything you're trying to put together. And what it does is it gives you this multiplayer button, which you can find a hosted game that somebody else has going, or you can actually host a game. You can put whatever you want for the name in here and hit make, and you get a nice little lobby map, which there's nothing in here. But that's that. You get an escape menu. You can go back to the resume game and everything works just fine. Hit escape, go back to the main menu, and there you go. Okay, so you can do a lot of functionality with this menu. You can change the way it looks, but this just works. This is good enough for testing. I've been using this for over a year. However, with 4.20 on Unreal Engine 4 and the latest version of the plugin for this, there are some changes on how you set it up and get it to work correctly. And whenever you first buy the project from me, you'll have a link that'll carry you to this page here. You grab the latest version, which 420. This works on 420.1 and 2, so don't worry about it. If you're still using other versions, you can get the correct version of what you're working with here. But this works for 420.1 and 2, so you're good to go. Alright, so to get this to work correctly, when you first get it, you're going to have a zip file. The new version will be named something similar to this. I may change that. If you don't have WinRAR, you need to get it. This is actually a zip, but I want to use WinRAR for everything. It's well worth buying, so give them a few bucks. It's worth it. Right click, extract to, the name of the folder right there. Now, this is going to be a weird multi-step process. I'm going to go into that folder now, and I'm going to run the project. So, once I actually run this project, it'll come up, and I need to ensure that I have the plugins in the correct location. If you haven't already done so, once you've gotten the Advanced Sessions plugins and you extract that, you're going to have an Advanced Sessions folder. This is the one you're going to want to move. That one needs to go into, and as long as you've got Unreal Engine 4 installed to the default location, which I do, I'm going to go to my C drive, program files, go to Epic Games, UE420, Engine, and plugins, and you're going to want to copy the Advanced Sessions folder directly into your plugins folder. You can see I've already got mine here. Okay, so I'm good to go on that part. So once you know that you've got that done, then you open your project, go to Edit, go to Plugins, ensure that you make a check in this box for Advanced Sessions and Advanced Steam Sessions. Once you've got those, and if you don't already have them in, then check those two boxes and restart. So once you come into it, everything's there. You can go ahead and hit play. If you hit it in the regular window, you're going to see that it does not detect Steam. So you can hit exit game, select on play, standalone game, and test that it is functioning correctly, that you do have Steam connected. If it does not detect Steam, it's going to say go connect to Steam, dummy. But there we go. I have our functionality. It's all there. I can hit multiplayer, host, make, and it'll go in. And I'm still using the Redman in this version. I will have it eliminated in the final version. So you can resume game or main menu, exit. We know that it works. But if we were to try to build it now, it's going to fail. So what we're going to have to do is close this. Now, to make sure that you're working on the correct one, I've got several versions here. And I can see that this is the one that I want to use. I'm going to select clone. And I'm going to clone it here. I'm going to give it a new name. SMST. And then I'm going to go to browse, because I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but anytime I try to type in anything here, it just does absolutely goofy crap here. So just click on browse, select your libraries, documents, my documents, Unreal projects, and go there. And for some reason it did not fully delete the last one, so I'm actually going to manually go up there. It left the folder from my test version, so let me delete that. So we're good to go. So again, right click, clone, give it a new name. I'm going mine SMST. Click on browse, select the folder for your Unreal projects, and it'll clear up all the unnecessary garbage that it puts right there for some reason. I'm going to hit create and then continue. It's going to create the new version here. I can go into it, verify that it's working. Again, not necessary, but with my OCDs, I'm going to do it anyway, just because that's who I am. So now, I want to look at edit, plugins. My plugins are there, so I'm good to go. Now, before I can actually do anything with this and do a build on it, I'm going to close it down one more time. I'm going to go back to my project folder, and here it is now in the My Documents Unreal Projects folder. I need to create a new folder by just right-clicking anywhere, select New and Folder. We're going to call this Plugins. Plugins. Papa Lima Uniform Golf India November Sierra. Now, this is where we're actually going to put the Advanced Sessions plugin also. So go to where you extracted it. You don't need the example blueprints folder. You can now right-click, drag, and drop this into the plugins folder and copy here. So now you've got your plugin inside the actual project. So now when we go into our new project we created with that new name, we can bring it up. I'm going to do a couple quick changes to it to show you how I'm going to do it, but I don't have to. Now I click here. If I don't want the Redman character, I can come over here to my player blueprints folder. If you're going to try to merge this into another project, there's some things you're going to need to do, but this will be fixed in the release version. I'm going to remove, you want the escape menu functionality. This needs to go into any character that you're using with any other project. You need just that part right there. And in the actual release version, I'm actually going to delete that, and I'm going to put in a keyboard event of escape. It does essentially the same thing, but if you're going to merge this into another project, you need that there. We're going to look at our mesh. I'm going to change that over to the regular white mannequin and compile and save. And I can now delete the Redman folder because we're not going to need it. So now that we've got that, we're ready to go ahead and package our project and see if it actually works. We know that it works. We've got our plugins there. So I want to go to Edit, Project Settings. You can come in here and you can change your company name if you want to. You can change the project ID. If you want to add a thumbnail to it, you can. That's up to you. You don't need to mess with really anything else in here. However, once you're using this in your own project and you want to go ahead and make sure you've got your maps. So go to Packaging in your project settings, come to the packaging section here, click on this arrow to show advanced, scroll down, and you have list of maps to include in a packaging build or packaged build. The main menu map needs to stay in. However, you can change the lobby map. You don't need it any longer because you've already made your own single player map and multiplayer map, or whatever maps you want to include in your project, you need to include here. If you need to add more, hit the plus and you'll be able to add a new one. So that needs to be in there. Otherwise, it won't package your maps. Now, another thing, supported platforms, you can uncheck all platforms and uncheck everything except for Windows, because I know this works well with Windows. It's not fully supported with Mac due to the plugin or any of the other systems. So I'm going to uncheck all of that and only leave Windows as the supported platform. Do that. Now I can go ahead and select File, Package Project, Windows 64-bit, and I need to tell it where I want it to go to. I have a temporary folder I've already made, and it was the SMST. Select folder, and I'm going to show the output log. It's already got an error there, but it's because, well, we don't care about Apple stuff. So I'm actually going to navigate to that folder on my hard drive. So you can see there's nothing in there at all right now. It's actually going to go ahead and be packaging that to there. So you can see this is not a pre-made cooking show. It's actually going to go ahead and package there. So you can look at this if you want to, but like I said, the error that it's showing right here in red is saying that it can't find something for Apple computer, and well, you know, this doesn't work for Apple. This works for Windows. And why are you using anything else but Windows, really? So we'll let this run. It won't take very long because this is really nothing in this project, but I just want to showcase this and let it run. And show 100% that it does 100% work. If you don't have Visual Studio 2017 installed, that is another thing. If you don't have the current version installed, it's not going to work correctly. There was a update not long ago, and you need to make sure you update that. And I will show you that really quickly as soon as this finishes packaging. It's just about done. You can see it's packaging up the advanced sessions and so forth. But I wanted to look at this project. You saw we added 431 megabytes here on top of what was already there and that kind of stuff. But and it does say Steam API disabled, but it's not. It's still working. So we are the last couple things, and it's build successful. That is the happy magic words right there, build successful, that we're looking for. So I can close this, and right now I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now you can see it puts it in a folder called Windows No Editor. What I typically do whenever I'm packaging up something to give out to friends for testing or whatever else is I will actually come in here into the Windows No Editor folder. I will select everything and I'll left click and drag it into the root folder, and now it's there, and you can actually get rid of the Windows No Editor folder. So now whenever you go to package this, you can right click on it and add to SMST RAR, and it will save it as the name of whatever this is or the name of that folder is. So you don't have a folder saved as Windows No Editor, which will be annoying as crap. So let's double click on it, and it's going to ask for clearance to your firewall. I promise there's no bugs. So I know my lovely mug is covering the information. Upper right hand corner of the screen, you've got your Steam stuff. You have the window on the bottom left, or bottom right, excuse me. Go to multiplayer, host, and create a game. And there you go. It works. So that's that. And I'm going to go ahead and exit that. So we know that it works. Works great. Now, if you come up with an error saying that something to do with Visual Studio, you need to go to your... Yeah, I'm using Windows 7. You'd find this however you need to, but you need to go to Windows or Visual Studio Installer. Run that, and you'll see, just follow the prompts, and it'll show you where you need to update. So you can get an updated version of your 2017 version of Visual Studio. It is required for packaging. That's just an Unreal Engine 4 thing. It's not a me thing. So it works. Everything's good to go. Now, anytime you're getting ready to start working on a new project, you want to build a game based off of this template, don't use the original. Do not use the original. You always want to keep a spare so that it's pure. Right click on it, select clone, give it a new name, new game, then click on browse, because you see all this garbage that it's putting in there. Browse, go to your folder where you want it stored, and then create and continue. And just remember that whenever you're doing the clone functionality, it's going to keep the majority of everything that you need there. So now we just need to wait for it to finish and it to show up here. There we go. And we have new game there. But we need to make sure that when we did that, we go to our new projects. We can see we got new game, and it does have the plugins, and the advanced sessions is already there. So you don't have to migrate it over every single solitary time. It works. So now if I go into new game, we can now make our game based off of this. It already has the plugins, already has the functionality. Everything is there and ready to work with. And it should be set up to where if you need to, if you've got another project that you're working on, you want to add this to that. Again, if we look at our plugins, we want to see that it's there. It's not showing up. However, it is there. If you do Steam, everything else is selected. It's not going to show up in the project here because it's in both locations. But if we were to do a packaging build, it will work. So if you have any problems, let me know. But if you're trying to merge, then you can just select this and migrate. You can migrate this. It's going to select everything that's in here. Select OK. Now you go to the content folder of the project you want to add this to. And typically it's in my documents. What does the CS go? It has nothing to do with my products. And you select the actual project you want to work with and the content folder. And selected folder. Now I've already got it in here, but that's how you would migrate it into there. So, alright, that is that. So anytime you're working on a new project that you want to use off of the actual template, you want to make sure that you right click and clone and work on a separate copy of it. That way you're not using your original version. And since I have multiple versions of the same project, I can just hold my mouse over it and I can see the file location of where it is. So this will be what you get whenever you get the new 420 version. Or if you just want to convert your version over that you've already got, that's not a problem. The only thing you're going to have to do is make sure that you go into your project, in My Documents, Unreal Projects, go into your actual project itself, add a plugins folder, and copy in the advanced sessions folder to that, and you can use the copy that you've already got and it'll work just fine. So if you've upgraded to 420 and you're having issues with it, that's the primary issue. What you're going to run into is that for now it requires you to have a plugins folder, and inside the plugins folder you need to have the advanced sessions root folder. Inside there you'll see the other two folders. So as with anything on this, if you have any questions or issues with the product, please contact me on Discord, and I will answer whatever questions you have about the Simple Multiplayer Steam template. And thank you again for watching, and thank you again for purchasing it. If you would like to get your hands on it, I sell this via PayPal only through my Discord channel, and the price is $20 US. And again, you can make payment to me via PayPal. I got the information right there in my YouTube channel description, a link to my PayPal. You can use that. Once I receive payment, then I will DM you directly with the links for the plugin and for the Google Drive version of it. So thanks again, and we will see you guys soon. I will actually have another video coming up soon on working with this and integrating this into your projects. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.